to the GDQ Hotfix. This is Crosshair, the show that brings you runs with bullets. First-person shooters, third-person shooters, shmups, bullet hells, lasers, rockets, grenades, snake, and shotgun shells. If it's got bullets in it, it's got a home here at Crosshair. My name is Dangerous, I'm your host, and if you've got a run that you think qualifies for this or any of our other GDQ Hotfix shows, head on over to gamesdonequick.com/hotfix and fill out that run submission form, and you may end up on a future episode of the GDQ Hotfix. Folks, when I was younger, I enjoyed a little espionage game where you played a soldier and you snuck around and took enemies down in the middle of darkness. But enough about Splinter Cell. Today we're going to be showing off Metal Gear Solid. So I brought in two really talented runners to show off two entries from the Metal Gear Solid series. We're going to be wrapping up today with Metal Gear Solid 2 Substance with Theory UK. But before that, a good speed friend of mine is here, Pythonicus, to show us Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker. Pythonicus, take it away.
Hello. Thank you, Mr. Dangerous. Yes, it is Peace Walker. Also, there's Splinter Cell, man. What a good game. I saw that coming from a mile away, and I'm still happy about it. Anyway, yes, this is Peace Walker. This is the second of two mainline PSP games. Portable Ops counts. I will fight you. But the category is a whole mouthful, and I'll be able to explain that as we get into it, since the first mission is a whole lot of just running around. But before we do that, I do have my good friend Metal Glenn Solid. Glenn, how you doing today?
I'm here for the memes that is Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker.
Oh, memes there will be. And as a formality, how much do you know about this game and this speed run?
Yes and no at the same time.
Perfect. All right. So, without any further ado, let's get into this. Peace Walker, not Portable Ops, Peace Walker is separated into a bunch of different missions. We are going through the first ending, so we have about 31 missions to get through. That being said, each time we complete a mission, we'll be kicked out to this menu. So as soon as I start this mission, we will start the timer. So if we can get started in 3, 2, 1, and go.
Good luck.
Thank you. All right, so as I mentioned, Peace Walker is divided into missions, and those missions are then subset into chapters. Much like if you've seen Metal Gear Solid 5, it's the same sort of deal. This one did it first to pave the way, kind of. So the category today is first ending, so we're going through the first set of credits. It is New Game Plus, which technically doesn't exist, but we are dragging all of our high-end equipment through all of the first chapter missions. And S rank, which means that I am going for S ranks in every single mission, which is a similar kind of restriction set to like your Big Boss or Foxhound ranked.
Speaking of Big Boss.
Big Boss. We're not going to see him a whole lot this run, actually. So like I said, I count Portable Ops as a mainline title, despite the fact that barely anyone else does. But one of the things that Portable Ops did for the series is that it allowed you to recruit soldiers for use in various different little units here and there. And so Peace Walker brought that forward. And basically we have...
Honestly.
Yeah, well, I mean, it brought the development, but now it's in your control instead of just being random.
Good.
But the main thrust of all of that is that I have some very powerful soldiers who are actually better than Snake, if you can believe that. Oops.
Whoa.
Yeah, they are better than Snake. They're faster, they aim better, they shoot better. They're just all around pretty cool. Snake is also pretty cool, but not as cool, you know. So, but yes, I have very powerful equipment. I have very powerful soldiers, and we're going to blast through this game as quickly as humanly possible. And that is basically the point of this category. And to actually answer that question in chat, this is HD collection. However, I'm playing on the Japanese standalone download edition for a couple of reasons, mainly because my disk drive decided it wanted to not accept discs anymore. So there's that.
Sad.
RIP.
Yeah, it's okay. It's fixable. It's a solvable problem.
Oh, yeah, by the way, if you thought guards in Metal Gear were blind, you have not seen Peace Walker.
That's just super enticing.
Yeah. So another thing that Peace Walker brought from Portable Ops are these comic book styled cutscenes, which I genuinely very much love. But as a bit of a difference, you might be hearing that beeping noise. That's me trying to skip the cutscene. I cannot, because this particular cutscene has a QTE. So Peace Walker does have a few of these throughout the runtime, and we're just gonna make quick work of them as possible.
This is definitely 2011.
Oh yeah.
At least we got Yoji Shinkawa in every cutscene.
Actually, fun fact, it's not Yoji Shinkawa's art. It is actually done by it is actually done by Australian artist Ashley Wood, who also did the MGS1 digital graphic novel and the Portable Ops cutscenes as well.
Oh, that's cool.
Awesome.
Ask me about Metal Gear. I know things. So, like I said, that was the first mission. We will see Snake later, but now it's time to go fast. That first mission is more or less solved with how we do it, because there's not a whole lot of extra faffing about. We're stuck with Snake. We're stuck with his default loadout. But now we move on to the special stuff. So you may notice that I went straight to the start of the mission instead of doing any equipment nonsense. That's because I had already preset this up ahead of time. And say hello to my good friend Langer. He is quite fast. And welcome also to our first little bit of speed tech. This box is our best friend for most of the run. So not only is Langer quite quick, we also can make him faster by simply equipping a box.
This is never not funny.
Yes. So this is box boosting. It is basically your attack action while you're in the box. And it does have other use other than just, making silly grunts and going slightly quicker. You can actually bowl over guards with it. So it is functionally useful, which we will see in a little while.
I feel like every time you go into a new area, this map updates, and after a while, this is going to get very confusing to someone that doesn't know this game very well.
It's actually not that bad. So as a PSP game, this is fairly compartmentalized, so you don't really have to think about too much.
That's true, yeah.
And thanks to some weird vertical hitboxes, I was able to actually hit that guard on the watchtower with that sleep grenade, which actually saves his life, because previously I was actually knocking him off the watchtower with a a rubber slug, a twin barrel, which actually sends him flying, and, he may have died to gravity. Wasn't my fault, but,
Promise. Although I like how any of the cutscenes that aren't in comic book form, they're all voiced by Snake.
Yes. Regardless of who you're actually displaying as your character, it's always Snake's voice going.
Not a bad impression, I will say.
I've done better, but thank you. So this is another one of those QTE-like cutscenes where you actually do have to shoot these things. But if you're basically shooting as soon as possible, you'll hit every single one of these shots, so it's not even really that much of a big deal.
And there's a boss fight, just not right now.
And you may have noticed my icon for this run. It might be a Miku. What's Miku doing here? Wouldn't you like to know? We'll discuss that later, I promise.
Here's the question. Because the game is Japanese, is it Japanese Miku? Or is it because the game takes place in Costa Rica, we get Costa Rican Miku?
Oh yeah, something I've been glossing over as well. Those who have played this game know, but for those who don't, every time you open up a mission, you have the option to do it either single player or hosting. What is hosting? It's co-op. This game has co-op, and it is the best thing ever. Highly suggest if you are at all interested to play some Peace Walker co-op. It is lovely. But
there's a drawback, but
we don't talk about that.
it's mild. It's mild. It's fine.
So we have just contacted the. No, that's actually the wrong thing. Well, that's the twin barrel. It's going to be our best
Still
friend.
waiting for the bullets to fly in this game.
So the twin barrel is quite powerful. It's going to be basically our best friend. Please. Okay.
Yay.
That didn't go to plan, but backups
it's
exist
fine.
for this reason.
Whee!
So, one small thing, I usually try to hold that guy up just to avoid the caution, so this might get a little sticky, but should be fine.
It's fine. The early game enemies are mostly so weak that our trike gun knocks most of them out in one shot, regardless of where we hit them, so.
Very true.
Or we could do 58,000 stun damage with a shot to the head.
True. So, something
Is
that I
that
haven't
stun
really...
damage though?
I plead the Kojima logic.
So I was rolling to buffer some menu inputs so that I could actually use the mate, which is our stamina recovery item. And you use stamina every time you box boost, so it's quite important to keep on top of that. So like I said, our boy here has max stats, so we have to worry about it less than like a new game run would, but it's still a concern in places. But we're coming up on our first boss fight. In any percent, this is a very, very quick fight for New Game Plus, but we have some extra steps to go through for an S rank. Oh, I got an insignia.
Killing is illegal in S ranks.
Well, us killing is illegal in S ranks. What if they die to natural causes? We'll say that's fine.
I much prefer the Phantom Pain explanation of they died to the lack of medical attention. Wait, what do you mean? I don't have a way of providing that to the enemy, even though I'm driving a cardboard box with an ambulance light on it. Which, for the record, in co-op is an instant revival.
What's the line from GTA 4 where the guy asked Nico, like, what did he die of? And he says, natural causes? And Nico's like, yeah, bullet to the head seems about as natural as it gets around here.
Oh my god.
So you may
know what?
notice
It's a Grand Theft Auto game that tracks.
Yeah. I am taking an alert here. This is intentional. This does not actually preclude S ranks in these styles of fights. This is a vehicle battle. And the game basically expects you to take an alert. So what the game is tracking here is the amount of kills and the amount of time we take to do this. So if we kill nobody, you know, we've done it. And he really loves to roll people over. It's common.
Good thing he's not very fast.
True. So the basic gist here is that we have used a rocket launcher filled with Fulton rounds. Definitely exists 100%. So we are basically causing all of the dudes around the explosion area to fall asleep and then go take a balloon ride. This is tied to the recruitment mechanics in the game. So, but it's also one of the best ways of getting folks out of the way. And normally the Fulton launcher only has like 5-6 rounds in it. So it's usually not meant to be this powerful. However, you may notice I have a bandana. And the bandana in this game does not cancel out S ranks either. Very handy.
This game is actually very forgiving.
Yes. It was a PSP game after all. It was a peace game. Now it's a violence game.
Peace was never an option.
Then why didn't they call it Metal Gear Solid Violence Walker? Hello?
Good question.
Yeah.
So we wait until all 4 of those guys show up, and then we take that shot. I have weakened the LAV here so that he pops out immediately, and now we just take him out with the sleep gas from the Fulton launcher. And that is one of the faster ways of S-ranking this fight. There are other ways where you maintain perfect stealth, but those are comparatively quite slow.
Mission complete.
So I'm assuming the reason why you're using LTL rounds on some of these enemies is just because it's faster somehow.
Sorry?
So like, because this question also came up in chat. Yeah, LTL less than lethal.
Yeah. That is more a consideration for the S rank part of this because, again, okay. If I kill anybody, that immediately ruins S rank for me. So,
gotcha. Okay.
Making sure that every knockout or every elimination we do is non-lethal means that I'll be able to preserve the S rank, and that's a core part of this particular category. There are categories where, we don't care about ranks, our any percent runs, which will very, very quickly dispatch things in New Game Plus this early in the game because of our completely busted items and weapons.
S rank.
Also, you may be wondering, man, you're skipping through those results screens rather quickly. How do you know you're getting your S ranks? And the simple answer is the jingle is different. So I'm listening out for the specific S rank jingle to move on. But also, it's pretty easy to tell if you've lost an S rank. It becomes quite messy if you do. Oh, that's wrong. So, I'm changing between uniforms between some missions because in this game, your loadout selection is saved to specific uniform archetypes. So, like, you've got your sneaking suit, which is its own. You've got your battle suit. You've got your fatigues, your topless fatigues. All of these count as their own individual loadouts. So, I have pre-selected weaponry and items to kind of ease my way through each of these missions. So all I have to do is just change what outfit I'm wearing, and I'm good to go to reduce some menuing. How did I hit the back guy before the front guy? That was...
I am silly. Not sure, but that was cool.
Thread of the needle.
Hey, I get my very own It's Never Happened Before here.
Woo! We got another one! Let's go!
So here we're actually trying to find the brother of the woman we just saved a couple missions ago. His name is Chico, and he's hiding behind one of these blue doors. Which one do we get today? Because this is random. It is first Chico. All right.
Nice.
Yay.
So in this mission, you hit the action button in front of these doors to check them. And to speed that up, because normally there's an animation associated with it, you can actually just spam the interact button, and if he's not in that room, Snake will peel off, or your character will peel off. So if they don't peel off, you've got the one. And an interesting fact about this mission specifically is that you actually affect your starting position for the next mission, depending on which luck you get for Chico himself. So I will be starting this next mission in front of that very same door, which means I have to be a little more careful than otherwise, because guard positions matter. If you're unfamiliar with Metal Gear speedruns, they're very, very cycle based. So keeping those permutations in mind is very important.
It's a pretty common theme with stealth I've noticed is that it's like largely down to cycles because Hitman's the same way.
Oh yeah. But there you actually saw the secondary use of the box. It's not just useful for going fast, it's also useful for climbing over. Otherwise, if we didn't do that, we'd have to go all the way around, and it's a couple of extra loading screens and a bunch of nonsense we don't really need to deal with, so let's not.
I'd like to know what kind of cardboard this is that it's holding what I presume is a 200-pound man plus all of his military equipment, even for 5 seconds.
It's steel.
Yes,
steel
of course,
cardboard box.
It's the cardboard steel box.
It truly is a steal. Get you one today.
Wow.
But he'll be here for the next hour and some change, folks.
Also, something I haven't really brought up is that I am actually using the game's 3-item cycle. So every time you see me go through my items, I am rapid firing my trigger buttons in order to make these things happen.
It's a neat little mechanic they introduced in MGS 4, but
Yeah.
it never grew on me personally. I still can't use it at all.
Yeah, it takes some getting used to, for sure. Also, sometimes when you're trying to place the box down, it gets a little not happy with you. But here, we're going to set up our equipment for the next screen. We have to take out 5 dudes as quickly as possible. I've equipped my sleep gas grenades because there's 3 dudes standing next to a train that I'm going to bounce this grenade off of and take out immediately, which leaves the other 2 to just kind of gently dispose of on our convenience, which I'm going to use the twin barrel because I like it.
That's a good excuse as any.
Yeah. The Mark 22 also works here, but why not send them flying? But this mission expects you to actually be trying to recruit these guys, so that's why this extra time to allow you to Fulton all these dudes before it fades out.
Gotcha.
And we just say no.
Yeah. It's a nice little break because this game is very, very input heavy. Between like equipment swapping, box boosting, after you climb out of your box, you are crouching, so you've got to stand up, and that's its own specific button. Like, I'm not just hitting the crouch button, I am actually hitting the D-pad down button, which causes him to stand up without, the chance of rolling, which allows me to continue moving. So it's a lot to kind of consider, but once you get the hang of it, it's incredibly fun. I cannot stress enough that this is something that everyone should play at least once. Give it a shot. But that being said, we are now on to our next boss fight. We're going to be fighting a tank. He's a jerk a lot of the time, even on New Game Plus. So we're hoping that he's a bit less of a...
So you got a tank, big whoop. Want to fight about it?
He certainly wants to fight. I don't know about me.
I mean, you ain't got a choice.
This is true.
He's not giving you one anyway.
Nope. So, one of the ways to speed this fight up is that trying to get these doubles as much as possible, because each vehicle has a set number of dudes that they can spawn. The early game ones, the LAV only has its 8 soldiers. This one has like 11, I want to say. I don't know the numbers off the top of my head, but getting them out of getting them off the field is quite important to do in a timely fashion. I heard one. There you are. Missing doesn't help, but I've gotten enough doubles.
Whip machine. Oh well.
Surprised I missed.
Yeah, sometimes the things don't happen quite the way you want them. These things happen. See,
All right.
The commanders especially have pretty wonky hitboxes, which is why I'm aiming more towards the top of the vehicle than I am for him.
Spread damage is easier to hit.
Indeed. Which is also an answer to the question, if anyone had it, why not just use the twin barrel? It does a lot more stun damage. That's the reason. It's spread versus localized. So, this next mission that I'm going to be doing, I'm actually going to be breaking out a completely new outfit. This is actually something that I kind of workshopped last night. So this game has a very, very bustling individual level speedrun scene, as you might expect from a game that is completely mission-based. And what I have gone and done is I have somewhat adapted the full game run out of a bunch of IL strats with some very minor differences. 1, 2, nope. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Oh ho. We're not going to talk about that. So, in this game, you have, well, some background. This game is set in Costa Rica, a tropical paradise, one might say. So, as part of that, this game allows you to find swimsuits for men and women. And that's a very quick shot that I have to make there. And that is quite important for us, actually, for IL specifically, because the swimsuit is incredibly fast. Basically, your movement speed is based entirely on how much weight you're carrying, and if you're in a swimsuit, you're not carrying that much weight. So that makes it the quickest option in terms of movement speed. It also has a couple of other benefits, but none that are quite so important for the run. So we make our way all the way over here, take that guy out, because you may have noticed I've been using the sneaking suit for most of this run, and that is for one specific reason. It is not even the most stealthy outfit necessarily, but what it does do is it silences your footsteps, which is, as you might expect, pretty important. But we're going to blast through that guy. We're going to climb these stairs. We're going to stop right here. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to recruit this guy to get him out of the way, because we need to get this wall dead. Bang.
The wall is alive. You've committed a kill.
Really. And the way I was doing that before is I was manipulating cycles to kind of get that guy out of the way. But in this case, I can just move him out of the way on my own leisure. Unfortunately, that's pretty much the only mission we're actually going to see the IL swimsuit strats. And that's not even the real IL strat. The IL strat goes a little harder than that even. But this next mission is a pretty simple A to B. So Dane, if you got anything to plug or anything, go wild.
Sure. Yeah, for sure. Folks, as a reminder, Games Done Quick is hiring. If you love creative work and have experience in planning and organizing, you can apply to be a prize assistant at our mainline events. Visit gamesdonequick.com/jobs by May 11th to apply. That is coming up soon. That is only a few days from now, this coming Sunday. So be sure to get your submissions in if you want to, or your applications in if you want to be a prize assistant. Additionally, speaking of mainline events, Summer Games Done Quick 2025 will be live in Minneapolis from July 6th to the 13th. Register to attend the event by May 26th. That's the last day. You can use !SGDQ in Twitch chat or visit gdq.gg/games to check out the games list.
Ooh. Ooh. A little bird told me there's some Metal Gear happening there. You should check that out.
There may be some Metal Gear happening at that. I'm just saying.
Yeah. So I had some aiming issues. Let's not focus on that. There is no war in Costa Rica. So, yeah, that's a good thing to talk about. Instead is sleep grenades. So, one of our top runners, Kinigos, I saw him in chat a little earlier. We've been going back and forth. I am a big fan of grenade positioning because that's how I learned the game, basically. Need this guy to go to sleep. There we go. That's how I learned the game, because in the earlier days of this game's speedrun history, that was basically a lot of how to go fast, was knowing where to place grenades. So that's something that I personally carry over from my experience. And so, you know, if there's a fun place to throw a grenade, generally chances are I'm going to take that chance. All right, so this is another one of our not really a QTE, but that's what I'll call it anyway, because I can't skip it. So it requires action on my part. Therefore, you know what? It's this truck, right? That wasn't the truck. Let's try this one. Nope. No.
He's not wrong.
Oh my god.
It's this truck. But yeah, the truck is always it's a static thing. It's always going to be the one, the 64779 license plate. But it's got a bunch of fun Easter eggs, and we like those. In case you're not aware, the first one is a reference to Boktai. Well, I got an A rank because I went and goofed off. It's fine.
Nice.
Oops.
Well.
It's fine. We got the Boktai.
Yeah, so your rank is also somewhat dependent on your results from like the interactive cutscenes. Which is, it's not necessarily a thing there, aside from me goofing off and having fun. But later in the game, there is an actual failable QTE. Most of them that if you fail, it'll just reset you to a couple of moments before and let you try again. But there's one that is actually 100% failable.
Hey, wait a minute. This isn't MGS 3.
You're right. And this isn't the Shagohod. This is the Pupa, controlled completely by AI, and one of the main thrusts of this game. So there's going to be 4 of these AI weapons, and the AI weapons, to bring it back around to why the Miku, the AI weapons are actually all voiced by Vocaloid 2. And if you know Miku, you know Vocaloid 2. That humming in the background, that's Miku. Hence the Miku.
Well done.
So, I should also mention this bit. We're stuck in here for a full minute flat. Can't really speed it up. Most of the time, you don't even need to do what I'm doing, but part of my shtick is that I'm also a bit of a Peace Walker completionist, so on my US version, I have obtained all of these memory boards, but this Japanese copy, the file that I'm working on, does not, so I'm kind of just falling boards as I can.
Doing this as you go live on GDQ, I love it.
Yeah. So, I guess an explanation of that is the more you destroy on the exterior, the more those boards open up. And if you hit the pods, those boards lock. So we try, if you're farming for the boards, you actually specifically try to avoid hitting the AI pod and destroy everything else around it. But in a speed run, hitting the AI pod itself is actually the fastest method for killing the things. So we take what we get. Well, I take what I get. Most people just ignore it. But that's the first AI weapon down. That is the Pupa. And now starts actually my least favorite part of this game. I don't like this next section too much. It's very spooky, especially for like S rank runs. In any percent runs, these next few these next few missions aren't horrible because you can just blast through them. But in S rank, I've got to be very, very mindful. And that's for a couple of reasons. Of course, if I get an alert, that's the end of S rank. So I've got to be aware of that. But if you do get seen in this game, you have a brief grace period where you can try and do your best to avoid the alert. These next few enemies reduce your amount of options. They actually cannot be CQC'd. The scouts will actually counter you and cause a whole lot of problems. So, I really don't want to tangle with these scouts too much. So let's see if that worked. That worked. Perfect.
Yes.
Nice.
So there's a guy behind that tree. There's a guy behind that tree. Did you see them? I sure didn't.
And they didn't see you. Even if you ran in front of them for some reason.
Here's another guy. So
All we see is the box.
the box, the all-important box.
The steel cardboard box.
Yep. Also, these loading screens, I'm trying to be standing up through most of them because that's the quickest I can go. Primarily because the entry of the next screen is determined by how fast you're moving. So standing is generally the fastest form of movement when you're running. So that's why I remove box, stand up, and try and roll through. But we're through that mission because at the waterfall, we're attacked by a chopper. And we got to take care of it. So the chopper, much like the other vehicle fights, doesn't really care if you're spotted. It expects you to take out a lot of dudes in order to make the commander pop out. But the choppers are special in that they have an alternate means of getting that commander to pop out. You see, the commander is the pilot, and the pilot is encased in bulletproof glass. But bulletproof glass is not explosion-proof. That being said, we're going to shoot bullets at it, so, I mean, I guess this analogy falls apart. But we're going to shoot that canopy. We're going to shoot that canopy until it opens up. Which means we don't have to worry a single bit about any of the dudes on the field with us. We just got to try not to get blown up. There he is. It's our boy, the commander, that I missed. So choppers are actually quite quick to S rank if you're capable of aiming. Because the commander, if you hit him, only takes 2 shots, and hitting the nose is actually good enough to hit the commander. My goodness. Hey, don't throw grenades at me. That's rude.
I just think it's hilarious. He's just leaning out of a helicopter, stock loaded with missiles and a machine gun, and just lobs a grenade at you. Yeah, I can't hit him with my overpowered machine. Let's just...
Yeah, sometimes you just got to work with what you got, right? Which, in most cases, would be the chopper, but points for creativity. All right. So, with the chopper out of our way, we can then move on with the original mission. So, this mission requires that we have a specific item in our inventory. I have already set up one of my loadouts with this item in that inventory, so I don't really have to worry about it. It's just another one of those preparation is the best kind of deals. There we go. Another little quirk about this mission is that you gain control immediately before the screen even fades in. So if you're not holding a direction, you're not moving. And nice. It wastes a little bit of time.
We would like to be schmovin'.
Yeah. But this section of the game, still chock full of scouts, but also snipers in full ghillie. Can you see the sniper in the screen? It's that guy to my left.
Oh, I didn't.
And he still didn't see you.
Yeah, so the cloud forest is very, very tricky. It will do everything in its power to trip you up, and thankfully I've failed enough at this that I know how not to fail anymore. And even then, I still fail sometimes.
I was going to say, since when is that going to stop you?
All right. So I ran through most of my stamina there, but thanks to this cutscene, that has been fully refilled. Which means once I deal with some dudes, I will be able to just continue box boosting and not waste time with the Mate T.
The Mate T just sounds so good.
I mean, yeah.
Huh?
But yeah, those 3 dudes are in the way. getting the first two is pretty simple with one smoke. It's quite large in radius, so I mean, okay, it's larger than you think, smaller than you want. Then again, if I had my way, I'd probably have the thing envelop the entire screen and move on, but
that explanation is perfect, and yet I still had to reset my brain just to understand it.
Yeah, I was sitting here like calculating that in my head, like, wait a minute.
Does your internal monologue also sound like a dial-up?
sometimes.
In that moment, it did, yes.
All right, so the ID card we had was not actually sufficient. So we've been skipping over the cutscenes, so we didn't see him. But we actually recruited Huey directly after the pupa fight, and it was his card that we had to bring along. His card isn't going to cut it. We need someone else's card to get into that lab. So hold up those two dudes.
He's lucky he's smart, because he's otherwise fairly not useful.
Yeah.
That, and he's voiced by David Hayter, BFF Christopher Randolph, so
True.
Oh wait, not in this version, never mind.
No, he is.
Nuh-uh, this is a Japanese version.
Oh, well. Touche.
Oh my gosh. What a technicality, this guy.
So I'm actually going to hold these two dudes up because that will actually matter on my return trip through here. Because now we're on an RNG item hunt. We have to find... Yeah, we have to find a specific dude. We call him Naruto. You will be able to find out why we call him Naruto very quickly once we find him.
Oh boy!
He's gonna run weird.
I mean, everyone in this game runs weird.
True, yeah.
I mean, this box runs weird.
So, hey, look at that sniper. That's not sniping. Sniping's a good job, mate. Too bad you didn't get to.
Spotting, apparently, is a better job. They couldn't afford spotters, though.
It is not always in the waterfall, but I'm checking the waterfall first here because this is my preferred location to find him. Hey, look, he's here! It's Naruto! Believe it!
Oh,
Also,
wow. I get it.
Oh, right, this guy's not a... So, there are perks in this game that each individual soldier can have. One of them is Pro Wrestling Maniac, which improves your CQC ability, but also knocks all items out of a dude. Useful for something like this. I forgot that this guy's not a Pro Wrestling Maniac, so I had to actually pat him down, which is fine. But yeah, if you guessed a dude wearing an orange jacket in the middle of a rainforest, A, you're hacking, but also B, you're correct. You win.
Says the guy running around with a cardboard box with a red light on it.
A cardboard box with a red light on it that is capable of resuscitating allies. Yes.
It's true.
So in my practice runs that I've been doing for this, I have actually been getting him there more often than not, which I am very, very happy for, because otherwise this becomes a whole lot more tricky. So we take those.
I'm a little suspicious.
I mean, I would be too, but I'm the one in control of it.
Third run in a row that I've seen. That's the only place I've seen you there.
I am not complaining one little bit about any of that. I will 100% take that every single time.
Mm-hmm. I wish he was always by the waterfall, but he is not, sadly.
But yeah, that makes the return trip very, very simple, because I've already dealt with most of the dudes in my way. But yeah, if you knock out an enemy through stun, it is a different timer than if you knock out an enemy with tranquilizers, which is also a different timer for if you knock them out through holding them up. Holding up is indefinite unless they're found by a friend or you get an alert. I believe stun is the least long KO timer, and tranks are just above stuns. So holding them up is in your best interest in a lot of places if you can manage it. So here's another AI memory board thing. We don't actually have to do anything here. So I'm not going to.
There's no letters here. We're supposed to collect the alphabet.
Just stare at the boxes. It's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, this is effectively just an auto scroller minute where you just kind of sit here and vibe out and relax your hands after however long.
Bashing.
Yeah.
I just twiddle my thumbs.
But yeah, there's Kinegos in chat I was talking about earlier, mentioning the spots. Yeah, the third spot is all the way back to the beginning of the area, and he is. It's a pain. But after that, we now have an unskippable interactive cutscene.
Yay! Woo!
Hey, you remember MGS3, right?
I
Yeah.
do. I also remember Sekiro. And Dark
Although
Souls 3.
I don't remember Metal Gear Solid 3 happening in this fashion.
So the way I explain this whole bit is that it is deteriorating memory. Like, it's not like in a medical sense. It's just the events as Snake remembers it 10 years after the fact. You know, things get muddy.
He's just getting old.
I mean, yes, but also things just kind of pile together. You remember some important bits, but a lot of the fine details escape you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. He knows exactly what was said, how it was said, just not exactly when it was said.
Yep.
This entire dialogue happened a week earlier and they weren't fighting. She was just whooping his butt.
I mean, she is here too.
This is true.
I mean, when I played Metal Gear Solid 3, she whooped my butt a lot before I finally beat her.
Like, this is the end of the game. But it's also not the end of the game.
Yeah. All right. But with all of that out of the way, fun fact, you can actually buffer cutscene skips. As long as that little icon on the bottom right is gone, you can hit the start button and then start mashing to get out of the cutscene. Which means you can actually skip that cutscene while it's still all white. White screen. Very handy. Very fun. So, but that being said, we're up to our second AI weapon battle against the Chrysalis. This thing is a real pain if you are not prepared for it. We are prepared for it. This is not going to be a pain. So on my battle dress outfit, I have equipped chaff grenades. And if you've played Metal Gear long enough, you know exactly what chaff grenades are useful for. So we're going to equip those, chuck one, go back to our rocket launcher, aim up. Bang! Look at all that health gone. And then we just chuck another one up there, and bang! Look at all that not health she has.
I like it when she's glitching out, she sounds like GLaDOS.
Yeah. And this one, you can actually hear her little death jingle, too. In the English version, all she says is, whoops, I guess I died. But in Japanese, she gets a whole little jingle, and it's cute, and I love it. But we do have to wait for her to land. Thankfully, she landed in the, I hit the attack button. I don't know what happened there. But either way, we have to wait for her to land, and she actually landed in the nicer of the two spots, the quicker version of it. So again,
all the alphabets.
Yeah, absolutely unnecessary for people who aren't me, but I'm me, so.
How many are you missing?
There's quite a number I'm missing. I have like 2/3 of them in my JP file. Oh, I would have to take a look. because there is actually a way to tell exactly which ones you're missing. They are classified through like periodic table elements. You got iron, copper, gold, silver, and platinum because they're conductive materials. And they correspond to which of the different fights you can have, because there's also extra ops with the AI's weapons in them. Like there's type 2 variants and as well as custom variants, which are painted red, go fast, and hurt a lot.
It tracks.
Yeah. They kind of operate on orc logic from Warhammer. Paint it red, it's more dangerous.
That actually makes perfect sense. I mean, if they wanted to modernize it a little bit, they just give them all RGB go fast lights.
But that is half of the AI weapons down. We have no more. We've got no more of the vehicle fights left. Thankfully, the Hind is the last one in the main game. But we are halfway through the AI fights. And yeah, we're roughly halfway through now with the elimination of the chrysalis, which means next up.
There's a flying boss coming up. How long until we get to that one?
Oh, you mean the one we just killed?
Oh, was it just that one?
It didn't fly very far.
Yeah,
Got it.
it was effectively flying.
So this would be a good time to take a break then.
Yeah, the perfect time.
Yeah, cool. So, folks, we're going to pause the timer here, and we're going to take a quick break, get some stretching, get some water, do whatever you got to do, and we will be back in just a few minutes. See you soon. Welcome back to Crosshair with our showcase of Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker with Pythonicus. So we're going to get this second half of this run going. Pythonicus, whenever you're ready, count us in.
You got it. We can get going here in, well, make sure. Okay, yep. We can get going in 3, 2, 1, and go. Could you imagine a Splinter Cell Peace Walker, though?
Oh, that would be cool. I just want more Splinter Cell to come back. We haven't had a game from that series in 12 years, man.
Yeah, theoretically for Metal Gear, it's been, well, if you don't count the Volume 1 of the Master Collection, it's been 7 years. I speak, of course, of the Forbidden One.
Talk about that game.
I talk about that game.
I've heard not good things about it.
It's
They
fine.
are completely fair.
It's fine. It's not the worst thing in the world.
It's Konami trying to use Metal Gear to jump onto a gimmick that was dead for 5 years.
Anyway, that's a mission. We just went through a mission.
Oh yeah,
Wow,
got gameplay.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot to talk about that one. There's just, you go. In any percent, it's even faster, where you literally just go. Yeah, Roy brings up a good point. It has, in fact, been 9 years.
9 years. But it's been
good.
13 or 12 for Splinter Cell. Let us eat. Cook us something.
I was gonna say,
Please.
you gotta have somebody ready to cook first.
No, Ubisoft won't cook that one anymore.
Well, they have a tendency to overcook
themselves, but that's another story for another day.
True.
All right, so we have. I think I want to go with this one. This is a good one. So hey, Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker. Not only does it have a whole lot of fun involved, it also has product placement, but also it has graphic tees, but only on the Japanese version.
I knew about these, but he didn't tell me which one he was going to pick.
We'll get a closer look at it here. Well, yeah, we'll get a closer look at it here in a little bit. But yeah, one of the brand partners for this game was in fact Uniqlo, and there are some specimens on offer.
Oh yeah, by the way, we are sniping with a shotgun a la Call of Duty style.
I was about to ask, like, that's a shotgun.
Yes. You are absolutely correct. So, fun little side bit about this game is that this game is actually capable of computing ballistic drop, but only for sniper rifles. Shotguns are immune to this. So we snipe with shotguns.
The logic, I tell you. And what's really sad is how perfect the aim is.
That guy just ate that bullet and decided to go up on the other ridge.
Yeah.
I wasn't even aiming for him. Yeah.
Surprise.
Literally surprise.
Ah!
Yeah, there's like, I want to say like 10 t-shirts in this game, and there are a lot of them are gold. Usually I'm better at aiming this thing than that. There we go. So again, getting doubles are the most optimal way to deal with this, because as you can see, there's blue skulls above these people. That represents the timer before they are no longer recoverable through Fulton means, and we do have to wait for that. If you are going for a lethal playthrough, that's not really a problem. You just continue shooting them. But for stun timers, I believe it actually resets the timer if you hit someone who's in the blue skull state. So we basically just have to wait for that to stop. That was a great shot. I knew that wasn't going to hit, and I still hit the button anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So there should be just one more wave. But yeah, this is, I mean, if you caught on to the gimmick for this particular mission, then cookies all around. We're just wave defense, and I'm surprised
just
the game
a horde mode.
Kind of, yeah. I'm surprised the game doesn't do more of this, because this is actually reasonably fun for this particular system of gameplay.
I could see this being like a mini game kind of thing, like a different mode for you play for the main menu, something like that.
Survival mode, yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
There is a couple of extra ops called base defense in the very extensive extra op list, which are all your side missions and so on and so forth. There are a couple of them there, and also it is basically a multiplayer game mode as well. But not necessarily like wave defense, but like base defense more accurately.
Ah, okay.
So hey, we're 2 missions removed from the last AI fight. How about we have another AI fight?
Yay!
Yeah, the mid game of Peace Walker plays pretty quick and loose with its boss placement. They had 4, therefore you're fighting 4.
Yeah.
Get ready.
I got all.
I mean, it would feel like a little bit of a letdown if you didn't fight all 4, you know?
Fine.
True. And that's ignoring that you fight one of them 3 times.
Yes.
So say hello to the cocoon.
No.
What's the bottle?
He's a big boy.
Pill bottle.
What pill bottle? Oh, the one.
A big
It's been sitting up
boy.
there for a while.
That is a big one. Holy.
What are we having a party?
Not only is he quite large, he is quite strapped. You see all these things on the side of him? Those are guns.
Yeah, I left the door open when I
geez.
came for water.
You see all the things on the corners? Those are guns. You see these things up
He's
here?
in the window.
They're called hedgehogs, but they're basically like aerial mines. You see the things hanging from those pods? Those are guns. You got a couple of more Gatling guns up there. You got a gigantic cannon in the front of it. It's even got a chainsaw. Can you believe it?
Yes, shut the door.
Do you want the keys?
Yes.
See that ladder? It's a gun.
I mean, it may as well be. If I were to have tried mounting this ladder before that cutscene was finished, I would have been ejected from it forcefully. I would literally be sent flying.
Very good.
But we do actually have to climb all the way up this thing. And it takes
you're
a
definitely
moment.
showcasing the theme of the show, Crosshair, the show that features runs with bullets, with so many of them flying around constantly.
Truly. But we do have to climb all the way up here because we need to get in the AI pod to more quickly finish the fight. There is a second way of finishing AI fights, which is to defeat the weapon 3 times.
Can we just appreciate how that thing is bigger than any Metal Gear ever? Like, except Arsenal Gear.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, if you deplete the health bar 3 times, it will allow you to move on. But it's just faster to spend the minute in the AI pod, pull the boards, or don't, and then, you know, carry on that way. And actually, I lied. Did you know there's actually 5 AI weapons in Peace Walker, but only 4 show up in the main campaign for first ending.
Oh.
Yeah.
I was about to call you a liar.
He's giving you a half-truth. It's fine-ish.
There's another word for a half-truth.
A half lie.
Alternative fact?
It's called a lie.
Hey, we're playing Metal Gear. It's primarily a game about lying and being lied to.
True.
Mans has a point.
So, the reason we're even here is that Peace Walker's hangar is actually in this area. We couldn't get in. Now we can.
Wow.
So yes, effectively the entire reason we fought Cocoon was to get access to Peace Walker's hangar. The hows and whys, those aren't important. But yes, we are through the Cocoon. The next mission is actually the one I was referring to earlier with the actually failable QTE. And it's a pretty long QTE too. Thankfully, I do have notes pulled up for this QTE because I'm going to be very honest. I would not be able to sight read this thing. It's not difficult, but it's just a lot. But before that, we actually have to complete the mission. So we're going to go back to our sneaking suit and hop on in. Alrighty, so we actually have to go find Peace Walker. Look at all these pupa chassis. That's not worrying at all. Yeah,
Look how conveniently lined up they are.
Well done.
Yeah. In new game runs, you can actually do this exact same strat, except it's done with smoke grenades instead of sleep grenades. Very handy stuff.
Just as convenient.
Yeah. Yes, so that smoke grenades are actually very, very good in any Metal Gear past or Peace Walker and beyond. Ask anyone who plays MGS 5 how powerful smokes are. That's not even close to far enough. What are you doing?
He doesn't know either. Did you see the question mark?
Right.
Nice.
Shush, 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 shush. Go to sleep. Hey, I forgot about you. Go to sleep. And then you guys go to sleep. And then, by the power of our physical might, we move.
Just remember, this is a totally realistic part of physics.
Oh, yeah.
Holding open a shutter with your bare arms.
Alrighty, so here, skip a cutscene. Here's our QTE. There are actually multiple reasons why I want to get this QTE correctly. First of which, S rank. Second of which, it actually gets us an item that will help us immensely with our next mission. And honestly, me speaking during all this is a mistake because I almost screwed it up at least 3 times now.
I can't even tell.
All right, that's the rapid fire section of it going.
I wish you could just pick a man up by his headphones and just throw him to the ground.
Glenn's gonna try this at SGDQ. I just know it.
Why would I do such a thing?
You said you wish.
I can't argue that point. I did say that.
All right, so we're through the scary QTE. We got our key card, our ID card, or whatever it is, and now it's time to play for Snake for the second and final time in this game. That's right, Big Boss is back, and he's better than ever.
It's good to be back.
I say better than ever, but really, no, he's better than ever.
And this is a situation of mild Japanese censorship. We're not getting electrocuted. We're getting tickled to
Yeah,
give
this
up
looks like
information.
tickling.
Yeah. So real quick, on the third section of this, I will actually provide a flashing lights warning. If you are sensitive to that, please look away for the third section of this specifically. I'll even give you a few moments to do something about that. Oh, here we go. On in.
Oh, wow, you're not kidding.
I never noticed that before.
Yeah, thank you for letting us know that.
He's laughing
Keepers,
so
friends.
hard you could see his skeleton.
True. Oh. So, in normal runs, you have to skip those cutscenes ASAP, so you don't really get a break between those matches, and that last one's a real doozy. Thankfully, Metal Gear as a series has trained us for this moment.
It's sad how true that is. Specifically 1 and 2.
Yeah. Alrighty. So like I said, because we succeeded at the QTE, by the way, it's safe to look again for our photosensitive friends. Since we got that ID card in the last QTE, we now have it here. Because apparently we stashed it somewhere they didn't deign to look. But we can use it to unlock our cell. Instead
Nice.
of going through a kind of a mini game sort of thing. Which takes a while and is just, I don't like it too much. But as far as S ranking the game goes, we're just gonna duck behind that pillar because I screwed that up a little. Normally you want to kind of actually throw them against the wall, but I kind of screwed the input up a little bit there.
It will never cease to amaze me that throwing him against the wall not only does more damage, it actually hits them twice.
Yeah. Very, very powerful.
It's OP.
Safe to say that Snake still remembers the basics of CQC.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Alrighty, so that's the last time we're actually going to see Snake in-game here. So we got to go head back to Peace Walker again. Now, I went back into the menu just to double check, but yes, we're still good. It is still Langer. He's still in our sneaking suit. That's what we need. So we're back in this whole underground base thing. We do have to be careful because now these guys are actually ready for combat and not in their ease. I mean, they are, but they actually have equipment now.
Oh. That's totally worrying.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not too bad to deal with. There is a guard patrolling over there that I need to distract with that grenade. Otherwise, he'll see me. And I did more than distract him. I got him. I got them all. Even the prisoner. Let's go.
Hold on.
Good grenade. But yeah, as far as the speed run goes, it's a quintessential Metal Gear run. You gotta have basically some foreknowledge of what your enemies are gonna do, where they're gonna be at any time, that sort of thing. But if you do know all that, it is so much fun to just blaze through.
And it's over.
Alrighty, so that's that done. We've headed for Peace Walker's hangar. Now it's time to fight.
What?
Yeah, time to fight. We gotta fight the robot. Fight the robot, Shinji. All right. So, as I mentioned, one of our AI bosses, we fight. Well, I said 3 times, but really it's 2. So there's another lie for you. Add it to the count. But yes,
I was going to make a joke earlier about like, oh, you're fighting the same enemy over and over and over. What is this, Elden Ring?
Oh boy.
He'll be here longer than Python, folks.
It's true. So this is our first fight against Peace Walker. This is the first configuration where it's bipedal. Here's a hint. It's not going to stay bipedal for long.
It's going to get new legs?
So we're going to pass underneath it. We're going to lock onto the pod. What we basically just did is we initiated the standard AI loop for it, which is if you get close enough to it, it'll constantly try and flamethrower you, giving you a load of time to just lay into its AI pod. But yeah, we don't really need the loop. We just need it to, stay still for a second. So, good stuff.
Look, it's a horse.
It's a horse. Yes, this is the boss's horse. No, don't ask questions.
I learned a long time ago not to ask many questions.
The answer is always Kojima.
Usually.
I have a meme for that.
All right, but yeah, as this is another one of our interactable cutscenes, getting hit by those missiles, you can take a hit or two, but it's not ideal. Ideally, you just want to avoid all of them, which thankfully you can do a lot of the time by just hugging the left side of the screen by mashing really well. And also dodging these trees. I think I'm gonna go home, guys. Peace Walker agrees.
Nice.
Wait, you're not at home playing this?
Who's to say, really?
No,
I'll miss the
Python is
friends we
at
made
the
along
local
the way.
coffee shop doing this off the Wi-Fi there.
I'd
Yeah,
honestly be impressed, though.
They're very enthusiastic about how loud I'm being. Yep.
Jeez.
But I mean, it's worth it to be the Peace Walker evangelist. One of a few, but anyway, once Peace Walker roars, you're good to stop mashing, and you can fall back to the right side of the screen again.
Oh, good.
And that's Peace Walker 1. Coming up next are the most difficult missions in this game. This is not an exaggeration. This is actually a true statement.
Oh.
Yeah. The community at large. So this next mission, rather, isn't too bad. It's manageable. It's fine. It's affiliate points, but it's fine ultimately. Also, we're changing soldiers back to Thresher Shark for once. Because of that thing I mentioned about loadouts, it also separates between male and female. So you have access to like 10 unique loadouts, I think. Something like that. At any rate, like I said, this first mission is not too bad. It's difficult. If you screw something up, it's very likely to end up in an alert or even a death. So we try real hard not to screw up. Hold this one up, blast that guy. Hey, I love the twin barrel so much, I brought two.
Nice.
So the twin barrel comes in several varieties. You got the non-lethal rubber slug variety, but you've also got the regular slugs. Oh, so I missed that second. I didn't miss that second one. Okay, cool. Safe rather than sorry, of course, but you know, glad that I hit it. So that's the first screen. The trickiest part about that first screen is the placement of those grenades. But there's a fairly accurate and consistent visual kind of cue for it. The second one, pretty similar to get a sleep grenade downrange. Listen out for that guy. And this guy didn't get caught in this. That's fine. Because that guy didn't get caught in the grenade.
Fine.
It's all good. These things happen. The most important part is that we're continuing on. We didn't die.
GG.
But yeah, the first guy dodging the smoke was a bit spooky, but I had to. Oh, this is not in a caution, so it's different patterns, which is fine. I don't mind different patterns. That's gonna miss. That didn't miss.
Different patterns make game exciting.
I've really got to stop doubting myself. I've said twice that something's gonna miss, and it hit the first go.
You got to believe in yourself the way we believe in you, man.
Apparently,
It's true.
I gotta take the Naruto school of belief. All right, but that's the first mission. The next mission is not going to be so kind. The next
Fingers
mission
crossed.
is 3 minutes of getting shot at the entire time with laser accurate enemies, very limited healing supplies, and to make matters worse, in the speedrun, we are going to not be using the most defensive equipment. So like I said, there's different outfits. Each particular outfit has like a defensive stat. The most defensive stat, or the most defensive equipment you could be wearing is the battle dress, but the battle dress is real slow. We're not going to be using the battle dress. Oh,
It's
boy.
so polite for them to give you plenty of time to change into something more usable.
Yeah. Oh, I have to change back to this guy. And then, there we go. Believe in the grenade that believes in you. Truly.
I was going to call that out too. Believe in the grenade that believes in you.
All right. So, I am in regular old fatigues. These are kind of your baseline stat uniforms. I'm going to chuck a sleep grenade over there. I need to get that guy out of the way. Those two are asleep.
Can we just appreciate the track to this level?
Oh, it's tense.
It's the point. This entire mission is tense.
All right, so those two are asleep. There's going to be two more down the other end. We chuck a grenade down there. Missed one, apparently. That's fine.
That's fine. You can just sweep him off his feet.
Yeah. And that sniper's position is a bit random. So he could be a little bit more forward and actually able to hit me as I approached. This time he wasn't, which is neat. I like that. I'm actually going to try something new here. I'm actually going to bank a sleep grenade off of that and see if it does what I want it to. It did not, but that's fine. Because there's this guy right here. I'm seeing if I could take him out without any problems, but it turns out I did that without the grenade anyway. Where'd that grenade go? Okay. Alrighty, so that's 2 screens down. We got 3 more to go. This one, take that out. There's explosive barrels on the bridges. We take those out.
The flashing light warning would have been good here too.
I'm sorry. I really wasn't thinking about it.
I was like, whoa.
Just remember, I didn't kill them. The barrel and gravity did.
Really?
Promise. Or I guess Python didn't kill him. I'm literally not killing anyone.
True. So you may have noticed for a moment there, I had my equipment not on the bandana for once. I've been burned by this mission several times, and so has a lot of the folks in our community who speedrun Peace Walker. So at any point where if we feel unsafe, we are putting on that ration and not looking back. We should have plenty of ammo to deal with everything by now anyway.
It's like finding someone who doesn't like heights. Don't look down, don't look down, don't look down. Well, in this case, we're afraid of bullets. Don't look back.
But yeah, as you can see, with maximum health value, I have already been run through 2 rations, and I'm going to spend the other 2 just to make sure I'm set up for this next room, which is the most dangerous.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah. It's me?
Yes. Congratulations, you're in the game.
Yeah, let's go.
So there's a lot of dudes shooting at me right now. We have to take out all of them. Ow.
At least we have our handy dandy sniper shotgun.
Yes. The ultimate tool for clearing out a specific area. A case could be made for using something like the Fulton launcher, but it just takes too long to reload, so the twin barrel it is.
I can't argue this logic. What the heck was that scream?
All right. But yeah, not only did we have a lot of dudes shooting at us, we also had a chopper shooting at us, which is why I stayed indoors. Oh, he's done already. Cool.
That's convenient.
Yeah. So here we're going to set up right here. Aim a grenade right about there-ish. And time it poorly. Whoa. Are you done? You're done. All right. Those are the last 4 enemies of the screen. If I had been a little bit more patient on that grenade, I could have actually caught all 4 of them with it, but that's totally fine.
I never want to run to go perfectly, you know? You want to show like how difficult the run is, have a few things go wrong here and there, you know? That's the logic I'm going with, hopefully.
Something like that. So that mission, if it goes on long enough, actually goes into the game's like secondary main theme called Heaven's Divide, sung by Donna Burke. She's great. Wonderful singer. Wonderful song. We don't want to hear it. It's slow if we hear it. So
Oh. Gotta soften the blow with compliments, I see.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, that is unironically the most difficult mission in the game. We're through it, and we have 1.5 left. So, the final mission of this first chapter here isn't much of a mission. I'm going to still do it as part of this because it's a great time to get like shoutouts and whatnot all out of the way. But this is the true final mission of this particular speed run here. The final one that actually makes much of a difference, at least. So to start off, we're aiming for the lighter gray parts of Peace Walker's legs because those are not armored as heavily as the dark gray bits, and therefore are doing more damage. By doing that,
I'm not certain if the sky is a shade of gray, but
yeah, by doing that, you're actually doing comparable damage to hitting the AI pod. Not full damage, as like it's more. Hitting the AI pod is worth 85,000. Hitting the legs is about 75-ish. All the while she's jumping around.
so the lesson here is go for the joints.
Yes.
But we get the cool boss music in the meantime.
Ow.
This was my ringtone for a while.
Good ringtone.
Mm-hmm.
Ow. So this is what we don't want to see. This is her going walkabout.
Oh,
we don't like this. She's walking peacefully. And we
Right
wish
off
she
the map.
wouldn't.
Oh, I get it.
Oh. Thankfully, we actually broke something. Oh, wow, that was actually real fast. Yeah, we broke something which paused her in place, and that allowed me to get a really nice hit in on that last one, which skipped an entire phase, by the way, so that's extremely quick.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Good stuff.
So that was a great fight.
Does this happen regularly, or would you say that that's...
That particular happening has not, been a thing before.
I'll take it. He said the thing!
I had two. I feel special. So this time we actually do have to pull these boards, and there is a method here. So you actually start at the back of her AI pod there, which means that's column C. For whatever reason, this is the only pod that does it aside from the fake one earlier. And this time we actually do have to pull all these boards. We started with about 4 minutes and 20 seconds on the clock. We are aiming to be done by 2 minutes and 25 remaining. So to start, we move over to C, and then once C is done, we can go whichever direction, but I usually go to the right towards D and just go up and down each line. And it's worth noting that I am, in fact, mashing like my arm doesn't matter to me.
Just hoarding hard
Please don't
drives.
hurt yourself.
Oh, yeah. Oh, there is something actually kind of neat that I can bring up here, is that if you are not wearing the battle dress or the swimsuits, this actually takes longer to do. For some reason, the battle dress...
Is interesting.
Yeah, the battle dress and the swimsuit both have, I guess, sped up animations for this.
Huh.
Weird.
Very strange. Not sure why they did that, but we take it.
Actually, that's a good point. You've taken out all these hard drives. Where is he putting all of them?
Don't worry about it.
Oh, okay.
There's
Don't
an
ask
infinite
questions.
storage cube thing.
It's like a glitch, right? Like an infinite storage glitch,
Yeah.
like an ISG. Put him.
Oh, actually, that
roll
was...
tonight.
Yeah, 225. Perfect.
Yay.
All right, so like I said, this is the last bit of actual gameplay, the last actual mission. We do have one more final one remaining as kind of a formality because it is the mission where the credits are tied into. So in order to see the credits, we have to do that mission, that sort of thing. But we're not going to be doing a whole lot, and I will explain why once we get started. But let me just get into that mission really quickly. Oh, not that one. I don't want to do that one again. The first time was good enough. So, Peace Walker 3. In the story, you've defeated Peace Walker, but okay. Let's take that back. Just walk that back a few steps. The AI weapons were designed so that the idea of deterrence would actually, go through, because people are people and may not choose to press the button when time comes. Anyway, Peace Walker has effectively pushed the button and sent out a false signal to NORAD. And now it's up to NORAD to not actually launch, because these aren't actually missiles heading towards America at all. At any rate, the game expects you to be firing everything you've got at Peace Walker. I'm not doing that. This mission is actually on a timer of about 3-ish minutes. And by attacking Peace Walker, you cause a lot of particle effects. This game is a PSP game. What do you think happens with particle effects on a PSP game? It slows it down. Yeah,
Amen.
It slows it down. So instead of doing that, we're just off in a corner, having a nice look at the sunrise, I think. I don't know. Can't remember. Doesn't matter. But yeah, like I said, this is a great time for final shout-outs and whatnot. But shout-outs especially go out to the Peace Walker subsection of the MGSR community. Stands for Metal Gear Speedrunners. If you'd like to speedrun any of the Metal Gear games, including this one or the one you'll see next up, go ahead and go to metalgearspeedrunners.com. We got a link to the Discord. We got a wiki with a bunch of strats on it. Yeah, it's a great time. Big thank you to Glenn for joining me. I always appreciate your company.
You're welcome. Thank you.
And shout outs to GDQ and Hotfix for taking this run. Didn't get to show it off didn't get to show it off at SGDQ. Didn't get taken, but that's quite all right. I'll take this. This works just fine by me.
You never know. AGDQ is coming up in January. You never know.
Exactly. But
I like how the sunlight in the background just looks like a wall.
Kind of is, yeah.
I'm sorry. I just looked up and I'm like, what the heck?
And time.
GG's.
Where did we come in at?
Looks like 120, just over 129.
Okay, sweet.
We take that.
Demolished that estimate.
Yeah. I had the feeling this would happen because over the last couple of nights I've been practicing offline, and this more or less exactly happened.
He got good.
Just getting too good at it.
Yeah, the category is quite young. There is a lot to still be learned about it. Like I said, I put this category together using bits of shoestring and IL strats that I was familiar with at the time, which have since been outclassed heavily. So there's more time to come off of this category, and I'll have to adjust the estimate accordingly later. Unfortunately, it was a little too late for me to do so for this particular showing.
Yeah,
but if
it
we
worked
got
out since we've had tech issues.
Yeah.
So, Glenn, any last little bit you want to throw in there?
No, I think Python got it all covered. I just appreciate that my company is welcome.
Sweet, yeah, and you'll be back for the next run too.
I'm stuck here. No kidding.
We're never gonna let you leave. I think you'll actually be the first one to ever be on the whole show, except for like one episode where we had 3 runners that all just interchanged for each other's couches. But yeah, thank you both for being here, for showing this off. I'm glad you submitted this run. I super wanted to see it, make an episode out of this, and I'm glad it all worked out. So thank you very much for being here and showing it off.
Yeah, thank you for having me, and yeah, enjoy MGS2, everyone.